We have another massive update. Fortnite has completely changed the game again. We have 5 new POIs. We have a completely different competitive meta. Exotics are back. Yes, all of the K-pop Demon Hunter items are gone. I'll cover everything new in the new update, which pros are looking good, which ones are now struggling with this update. And we have the return of Benjyfishy to Fortnite. But is he back to competing? Is he just playing casually? And what can we expect from Benji going forward? There's a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it. We have a new update to talk about, and somehow it's almost as big, if not bigger, than the one we just had. We literally just had the shortest new season of all time. The last update, the K-pop Demon Hunter update, I was talking about how it felt like a new mini season because there was so much content. It's all already been removed. Basically, all of it is gone. All the items are gone. There's no more ramen. There's no more teleport masks. There's no more shield bubble. All of that's out of the game, and we are now in the Fortnitemares Halloween update. We now have crash pads back in the game, and we have 5 major POI changes. On top of all the map changes we just got last week. Fortnite is really cooking with the content at the end of this season. It's one of the longest seasons we've seen in a very long time, and I feel like without this content, things would have felt really stale. But honestly, I love this update. I am so happy that I woke up this morning and got to see the tweets. Now, a lot of people are going to come at me. Yes, I was really excited to see the teleport mask come back at the start. And yes, I also said that I was happy that every single team got them. It removed the RNG. It felt skillful. But man, it was so boring to watch. I didn't want to sit here and complain about it. A lot of you guys were enjoying playing with it. I get it. If I was playing solos right now, or if I was playing duos, I probably would have liked the TP mask because you can just teleport in, box, teleport in, box. I'm not a very good fighter. That sounds very enjoyable to me. But as far as watching, I want to see people go crazy. I want to see ridiculous high takes and big pumps and awesome fights, and that wasn't really happening with the teleport. But with the crash pads, it is. I think this is a really solid meta right now. Fortnite's brought the crash pad juniors back. They did fix the main bug, which is where if you double crash pad in a row, you die to fall damage. Some people are still reporting that bug's in the game. I don't really know. I tried it and I didn't die, so I'm not sure what's going on there. You do still die if your fizzberry runs out when you're crash padding, so be careful of that. But the new meta looks amazing, and they brought back exotics, but there's no rank anymore. There's no OXR rank, which means the exotics spawn in the bunker. They open when second zone starts, and anyone can get them. If you're the first one in the bunker, you just run in and grab it. It leads to some crazy mid-game fights. It means anyone who, wants to take the risk of fighting people ends up getting the exotics, and I actually love this. This update is really fun to watch. The eval cup was today. It was an absolute banger. I'll recap that in a little second, but this update across the board for me is a huge W. As far as the map changes go, we have some big changes. Creepy Camps, which was resistance base, is terrible. So Chap, Flixie, Reet, and Muzz, 2 of the best teams on EU and NA right now, unfortunately have to find new drop spots. Chap and Flixie have already left. They're now going the Viney Shafts. I'll talk about that in a second. Reet and Muzz are trying to make the Creepy Camps still work by getting the houses to the northeast of Creepy Camps and trying to make the loot work. Spoiler, they did get a win in the eval final, so they're kind of pulling it together, but the loot is considerably worse. It's like 12 chests now, but whereas some POIs got nerfed, some POIs definitely got buffed. Pretty much every single other area where there's now the Halloween themed stuff on the map got a buff. Viney Shafts, significantly better. Predator's Peak, which is the mountain to the north of Canyon, got a buff. Pumpkin Pass, over where the bridge was, also got buffed. And then Freaky Fields has made a return yet again. But the biggest one is Gaudy Gate. Gaudy Gate, I think, is now one of the better POIs on the map. It has a whole bunch of the new pumpkin chests, which if you want to get fizzberry jars, which in duos, especially in Crash Pad Junior meta, you're going to want to get, that's the best chance to get them. The drop rate is insane, and there's a bunch of them at Gaudy Gate. So Foxy just got a big buff. It's center map, it's 555 material, it has a guaranteed slurp truck, and now you have all these extra chests as well. But honestly, any of these new Halloween themed areas are really solid drop spots. I'm pretty sure in solos, you could just make them an entire drop spot in themselves. There's also more loot next to Supernova now, and if you're going to try and tee these up with the exotics, it's going to be a very fun meta to watch for solos. We have some big tournaments coming up this month. We have the $200,000 solo or duo LAN, the Milk Cup, coming up next week. We have the $100,000 Eraser solo LAN, and we have our solo series finals. So seeing this meta come back has me really excited for that. I won't talk too much about the casual part of the update because obviously most of you guys watching me are competitive fans, but a whole bunch of cosmetics, some awesome medallions went into pubs as well. Apparently we're getting a Jason medallion that lets you see people through walls when they're low HP, which I think in pubs and stuff is just super fun. We also have a Ghostface medallion where you can sprint around with a mythic knife, and then you can call the phone to scan players around you. Like, I'm not a huge Halloween fan. We don't really celebrate it that much here in Australia. I know there's a bunch of Halloween and spooky movies. I get all the references, but even me, who's not really that into Halloween, this update looks awesome. There's a whole bunch of new content and it looks really, really fun in pubs and in competitive. Now, I would love to say it's because of all this new content and he's back, he's gonna be competing, but we have seen the return of Benjyfishy to Fortnite. It's been such a long time since we've seen this. Benjyfishy decided to get on Fortnite. No, it wasn't a sponsored stream. No, it wasn't because he was paid to do it. It's because his Valorant professional duo, Woot, just wanted to jump on and play. So we got to see Benjyfishy stream Fortnite and it was honestly insane. Benjyfishy jumped on and was instantly ridiculous. It looks like he never left. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not just saying that. My man was actually hitting clips just after getting on. You have to remember, Benjyfishy's quit for pretty much almost 4 years now. So again, that's a very, very long time. People now saying, oh, Benji's back. He's going to be competing. Look how crazy it is. Benji very specifically stated on the stream he's not coming back to Fortnite. He's not coming back to competing. It's the Valorant off season right now. Woot, his professional teammate on his Valorant team, Heretics, he also wanted to play some Fortnite because he used to be a big Fortnite fan, so they jumped on and ran some games. This is not the return of Benji, trust me. I wish, but honestly, it was insane to see how incredibly good he still is. They ran up a few ranked reload games. They did really well. They won them. Again, it's low level ranked. We got to see Benjyfishy 1v1ing Woot, and then to speed things up, try to, test themselves a little bit, they jumped into a 1v2 against Clicks. Now, meanwhile, Clicks was playing on EU ping, is on like 100 ping. Benjyfishy was on 0 ping. Woot is in Turkey, so he was on about 60 ping. And honestly, they gave Clicks a good run for his money. Once Clicks started fully trying, it looks like he did take them down, but they got quite a few rounds on him. And like I said, Benji looked like he still got it. I saw some ridiculous pre-fires. Pretty much 5 minutes after getting on the game, he managed to double piece control Woot, reset the floor to bait his pump shot, wait for the pump shot, and then pre-fire pump back. Like, I know he's a professional Valorant player. He's still playing games at a super high level. He's one of the world's best Valorant players, but he hasn't touched Fortnite. He said the last time he got on was he downloaded the game to buy Mr. Savage's skin, and then he played once before that like 3 years ago. So just ridiculous that he still got it. All right, now how are the pros doing after this update? We had the Eval Cup day to test it out, and again, there is no more Surge changes. We are back to the good old reliable Surge. Yes, that means trading is kind of still happening. Not as bad because again, it's off-season vibes right now, but the meta is very similar to what it was 2 weeks ago. So we're kind of expecting pros who are doing well then to do well now, but we had a few big names on EU struggle to qualify to finals yet again. We had no Frodoxy and Pablo, we had no Venochino, we had no Vanya Swizzy, and so many more. It was, again, kind of this weird situation where I know it's off-season, I know it's not FNCS, but how many times are these big names not going to qualify before they do start to look for more teammates? There's still big cash prizes up for grabs right now. Winning a game is $800. Div Cups have huge prize pools still. When are we going to start to see some of these teams swapping? The Eval Cup format, 7 games, 2 hours, Elam's only worth 1, is quite brutal. We've talked about that so many times. You start to add up multiple Div Cups and multiple Eval Cups. We have, FNCS winning players of this year not making like 3 or 4 finals in a row, not having played a single final in weeks. You got to think something has to give. This wasn't just an EU issue as well. Again, EU obviously a lot harder to make finals on, but over on NA, we had no Eomzo Ages, we had no Cold and Ritual. A lot of our tier 1 players are just seeming to struggle right now. So we'll have to see if anything changes up on EU or NA. If we see any snakenings or any team swaps, you guys know, I'll let you know. Right now, no one said anything, but I feel like people are waiting to see how the Div Cup finals goes this week. If some of these big names who have made Div Cup finals but didn't make Eval start to struggle, I think we're going to have to see at least 1 or 2 of the big duos make some changes. We've talked about who struggled. Let's talk about who did well. And you guys already know, you put Exotics back in the game, Pete and Poyo are going to show up. They managed to win 2 of the 4 games in finals. They got a 10 Elam win, an 8 Elam win, a 5 Elam 5th, and then a 5 Elam 22nd. So they almost beat their Eval Cup finals record, almost getting their first 3 wins in the finals, but they did come 5th place overall. They played extremely solidly. Pete and Poyo are still going ranges. They're getting their loot. They're instantly rushing the bunker if it's nearby, getting their exotics and popping off. The 2 games they got the bunker, or 2 of the 3 games they got it, they did actually get the revolver, which is the weakest exotic as well. I want to see how these games would have looked, especially if they got the exotic Fizzberry jar. In a Victory Cup meta, the Fizzberry jar is absolutely insane, but they were looking extremely strong. We then had G-Money and Rise, who were very, very consistent. 5 Elam 3rd, 2 Elam 6th, and then a 9 Elam win. So again, really, really good average placement there for a Victory Cup finals. Muzz and Reed, despite having their POI heavily nerfed, they came out and got the game 1 win, showing that they are a very phenomenal duo right now. They're not a 1 tournament wonder. They're popping off in open Opens. They almost won Div Cup Finals, and now they're winning games in the Eval Cup Finals as well. That 10 Elim win was extremely solid. Then we had Rapid and Threats playing very consistently, especially considering they were contested by Bucky and Status. They didn't get a win, but they got a 5 Elim 8th, a 9 Elim 5th, and a 5 Elim 2nd overall. Clicks and Higgs, who obviously were our Eval Cup specialist in trios, haven't really found the same success in duos. They got a 5 Elim 4th. Again, standard for Clicks, but they're able to get a win. That was their best game overall. Going through the Asarian stats from the NA Finals, we have Poyo top of the damage ratio leaderboard by a lot on 2.97. He was sitting up, playing the heal off a lot to secure the victories. Pete and Poyo play the Eval Cups very differently to regular tournaments. Again, getting a 50 Elim seconds worth nothing. And, credit to Pete and Poyo, they're actually playing the format in these Eval Cup Finals right now. They really do want to try and get those wins. The Div Cup Finals, I'm expecting Pete and Poyo to go absolutely nuclear. They're going to W key very, very heavily in this meta. We had Clicks in second on damage ratio, tied with Threats on 1.87, both very, very respectable. Damage to players, though, that's always going to be Pete's stat. Pete at the very top on 4,300. Threats in second, 3,800. Poyo rounding out the top three on 3,800, just beating out Clicks in fourth. Then Elims, we had Peterbot on 16 power, which I was quite surprised to see in second on 14. Very underrated performance there. And then Rapid, the IGL, stepping up big again with 12 Elims in third, just beating out Poyo in fourth. Looking at the EU Finals leaderboard, and again, as I said, a lot of the big names missed out, so you're going to expect to see a lot of those more underrated players come up with the wins, and that's what happened. We had Yule and then Mirrors. I'm going to pronounce that terribly. We had our Finnish Ghosts coming in first. They managed to get an 8 Elim win, a 5 Elim 5th, a 5 Elim 4th, and a 4 Elim 19th. So Yule's team playing very, very well overall. Then we have Malibuka and Panzer in second. They managed to get a 5 Elim win and a 7 Elim third, so very easily could have been 2 wins on the day for them. Druxies and Sadie also managed to get a 6 Elim win. And then we had Juxes and Jix FV. Honestly, don't know too much about this team. They managed to get a 7 Elim win. Their other 3 games not looking too hot either. As far as our other big teams in this finals, we had Vico and iDrop get a 13 Elim second. So close to winning it, as well as an 8 Elim 8th. We had Shark and Teeny, unfortunately, not really get the big placements we expect from them. A bunch of Elims, but no real win for this one as well. Huddy and Fishy, again, our Czech team, they're looking very, very good in solos. As a duo now, they managed to get a 12 Elim 4th. Weren't able to get the win there, unfortunately. Hari and Cami, with the new drop spot, were looking very, very good. Dropping on the bridge, they managed to get a 5 Elim 4th, 2 Elim 3rd, and a 3 Elim 2nd. Unable to get the win, though. Super unfortunate for them. Scroll and Savage ran it back despite Mr. Savage and Scroll not making the Div Cup Finals this week. So for the Savage fans, that duo might still be happening. They managed to get a 5 Elim 6th as their best game overall. Unfortunately for the Mongrel fans, Mongrel and Mixer managed to make the Div Cup Finals, but they weren't able to make the Eval Cup Finals. Looking at the Asarian leaderboard, we had Hari topping out the damage ratio on 2.55. Damage to players, though, Vico showed up big despite not getting any wins with 5,100. Again, shout out to Yule in second on 4,200. Elims also again going all to Vico, 20 eliminations to Vico, with the second closest again being Yule on 13. So Vico showing up really big with the new exotic and the new meta. I don't know if it's Crash Spaz or if it's exotic Spaz, but Vico is absolutely popping off right now. If you guys want to learn how to W key in the new meta, or you just love watching high kill games, go check out my react video of Pete and Poyo dropping a 39 Elim win in the opens. They were absolutely popping off. Trust me, it's worth the watch.